I've applied for 7 Chase credit cards in a row, 5 of which have been featured on this YouTube channel. But now it's time to mix things up a little bit and apply for the American Express Hilton Business credit card. This card will be a fantastic way to rack up Hilton Honors points fast. So when I apply for this card in this video, we'll see if I get approved, denied, or we're left in pending review. I'll give you all the details on the card and tell you why I'm applying for it, and then of course show you the application process and see the results. The current sign-up bonus when I'm filming this video is 150,000 Hilton points and an anniversary free night when spending $4,000 in the first 3 months. Now, I understand that this bonus is not still available. I do expect it to go down to around maybe 130,000. According to a lot of smart people online, Hilton points can be somewhere around 0.6 cents per point. I personally do not have enough knowledge of the Hilton Honors program to give you an exact amount of what I think they're worth, so I will use that estimate in this video to determine how big the sign-up bonus actually is. If you take this 0.6 cents per point valuation, then the 150,000 points that I'm going to get from this sign-up bonus is going to be around $900. And if you factor in the anniversary free night, where a lot of people like to say that you shouldn't spend this anniversary free night at a hotel that costs less than like $500 a night, because with Hilton free nights you can stay at any property in the entire world, no matter how fancy the place is, as long as you get a standard room or board. The hotels in the Hilton system can range all the way from like 10,000 Hilton Honors points per night to 150,000 points per night. Even though I can probably find a really nice hotel to stay at for one night, I want to be conservative with this estimate so that it makes sense and I don't overvalue what my points are worth. So I'll say that I'm going to get a room for 50,000 points for that one night, bringing that sign-up bonus to 200,000 total points. If you multiply the total 200,000 Hilton points by the valuation that you're going to get, around 0.6 cents per point, then you'll have around $1,200 worth of value from just these 200,000 Hilton points. That's pretty good for a $95 annual fee card. If at any point in this video you find out that you do want to learn more information about this card or even apply for it, I do have a link. It'll be the top link in my description to check out this card. Now that we've gone over the amazing sign-up bonus, let's go down to some of the benefits on the Hilton website. The first one being automatic gold status. Hilton has a few statuses in their program. They go from member to silver to gold to diamond. Now this won't directly help me because I already have Hilton Gold status with the American Express Platinum card, but Gold status is pretty good if you want to get it. The next line here is no foreign transaction fees. That's always a huge win because me and my wife travel a lot and we travel for business, and so it definitely helps out because we can use this card when we're traveling internationally. Don't have to worry about the banks charging us a fee to do so. The next bullet point here is a free night award if you spend $15,000 on this card in 1 year. I highly debated on if I was going to go for this and just use this card for basically all of my purchases for the rest of the year, so I wouldn't have just one from the sign-up bonus but actually 2 to use, and I would probably use these back to back so I could stay at a really nice hotel for 2 nights in a row. But I don't think I'm actually going to spend this amount of money, at least this calendar year. And if you're really feeling like you love this card, you can actually use it for even more of your purchases and spend $60,000 on this card, because then you'll get an additional free night. Another benefit listed on the Hilton website is 10 complimentary visits to Priority Pass select lounges. I like this perk. I really think that it's good to have on this card. However, I already have Priority Pass select with my American Express Platinum card. I get unlimited lounge visits whenever I want to use them, and so of course I'm not going to use these 10 complimentary passes, but I guess that is really nice for those of you that don't have lounge access at airports. Moving on to the spending categories, you get 12 times points when you use it at Hilton hotels. I've heard this actually stacks with your automatic gold status that you get from having this card. You get 8 times points when you use it at Hilton hotels, and you get 10 times points. Just these are base points that you you get just by staying at a Hilton hotel and just being a Hilton Honors member. So if you add up the 12 times points that you get for using this credit card, plus the 8 times points that you get for being gold, and the 10 times points for the base points, that's actually 30 times points that you get for spending each dollar at Hilton hotels. Now, of course, that sounds amazing, but it's not a 30% return on your money because Hilton points are just not that valuable compared to other currencies like American Express membership rewards points. But I mean, 30 times points is still really solid. With this card, you get 6 times points when you use it at US gas stations, US restaurants, wireless telephone services purchased directly from US service providers, US purchases on shipping, on flights booked directly with airlines or Amex Travel, and on car rentals booked directly from select car rental companies. That is a lot of 6 times categories right there. I probably would like if there were more like international categories. There's a lot of, like it says like US restaurants, US gas stations. It would be nice if it was just like worldwide. And since this is a really good travel card, I would hope that that was in there, but you know, it's not like the hugest deal in the world. That's fine. And then on any category not mentioned here, you do get 3 times points on every other purchase. So how am I going to get value out of this $95 annual fee card? Well, there really isn't anything special that's going to help reduce that $95 annual fee. I do think that the airport lounges, where you get 10 complimentary visits with Priority Pass Select, that can drastically reduce the annual fee for a lot of people. However, I'm just not going to be using this benefit. If I was using this benefit and that was my only access to airport lounges, I do think that this card can justify the $95 annual fee just with that one perk, but I'm not going to use it. So how else am I going to get benefit from this card? Reason number one why this card might be worth it is that me and my wife travel a lot. We do a lot of international travel and we're staying at a lot of hotels. And so it would certainly be nice to have a lot of Hilton points that I can use for free hotel stays whenever we get the opportunity. Reason number two is that I have actually been a pretty big fan of the IHG hotel system lately, and I have applied for 2 separate credit cards to start earning IHG points. And I have found that the more that I dig into this IHG program, I actually found out that I can get a lot more benefit for the amount of points that I have than I originally thought. So I'm hoping that the more that I learn about the Hilton program, the better I'm going to be about redeeming my points for better value. And I definitely do need a secondary hotel program, so I think by having 2 hotel programs that I'm focusing on, I think I can earn a lot of points and also stay at a lot of hotels. Reason number 3 why this card is going to be worth it for me is that my wife actually has the no annual fee version of the Hilton credit card already. It is right here while I cover up the sensitive information. That is the Hilton no annual fee card right there from American Express. It was actually our 2nd or 3rd credit card that we ever got as a married couple. And this card, I mean, we really don't use it that much because, again, we don't have a lot of reason to stay at Hilton hotels. We don't use this card too much just because we haven't really found that much value in holding this no annual fee card, but we do have like over 50,000 Hilton points just sitting in our account, and we're like, well, if we are going with a secondary hotel program, we should probably go with Hilton. And for that reason, my wife is actually going to be applying for this Hilton business card. It's not going to be me. We're going to go through the application together, and she's going to apply for the card, and hopefully we get approved. With all of these reasons in mind, we can absolutely get amazing value out of this card by holding it in the first year. In the 2nd and 3rd year, we're going to have to see if the $95 annual fee is going to be worth it to keep this card every single year, and I'm not going to be afraid to cancel this card if we're not getting good value out of it in years to come. With all that said, let's go head over and apply for this card. We have made it to the screen where it shows all of the American Express business cards, but we're going to scroll all the way down to the Hilton business card because that's the only card that we're looking at right now. And as you can see, it does say 150,000 Hilton points plus 1 free night, and the offer ends July 19th. And obviously that is in the past, but that's just when I'm able to post this video. So we just clicked apply now, and we're going to look at this application, and it does say it does have the right welcome offer. Again, you just want to triple check that because you don't want to get the wrong welcome offer. On here it does say, again, earn 150,000 Hilton Honors bonus points and a free night reward. That's what we're looking for, so that's great. Of course, I'm going to walk you through this application and then we're going to submit it. submit it. One thing that I do want to mention on this left-hand side here, it says you may not be eligible to receive a welcome offer if you have or have had this card or previous versions of this card. At the top here, we're talking about annual income. So right here is going to be the personal annual income. It's going to include all income available to you. So in this case, I will include my wife's income as well as my income since it is all available to her. Legal business name, just what is the business? You could just say your own name if you do not own a actual business that's registered with your state. But in this case, we do have an LLC. Me and my wife own it together, and so we're just going to put that. And then the business name on the card, it is a maximum of 20 characters. Ours is actually a little bit longer than 20 characters, so we're not going to be able to include the full thing, but that's totally fine. Company, DBA name, or doing business as. If you do not have this or you don't even know about it, you would just not have it. So you could just do this checkbox right here. The next fields are the business address. There's line 1, there's line 2, zip code, and the phone number. Just make sure you put in all that information correctly so that they can actually send you the card. And then the company structure is the next field down here. You can choose corporation, partnership, or sole proprietorship. If you have a registered business, you'll probably know what to put here, but if you don't and you just own the business by yourself, or you say you do some side work, you're just going to put sole proprietorship. Annual business revenue, you don't want to necessarily lie about this, but I do believe that it is a projected of what you expect to make in the upcoming 12 months or just in this upcoming calendar year. So I do value my business pretty highly, and I do think that it is going to grow over the next 12 months. And so we're going to put something that's like in a very good range. But of course, the banks sometimes verify this information, so you don't want to put something outrageous. Next up is the federal tax ID. So for me, that would be the EIN number, and for other people, it might be something slightly different. So if you're a sole proprietor, you could just put your social security number. Role in the company, there's a lot of options here, but she is an owner, so that's what she's going to put. Next up is the Hilton Honors number. My wife already has one when she set up the credit card, the personal one, and so she's just going to use that same number. Or if you don't have one, then of course you are going to get assigned one once you submit the application and get approved for the credit card. Terms and conditions are next. This interest rate is extremely high. There's no reason to ever pay for any interest on this card. If you think that you might have to pay interest, it's probably not going to be worth it for you to sign up for a card. I just triple checked everything and it does look like it is all correct. So the only thing left to do is hit the submit button. I do believe after I click submit, there is going to be like one more screen or maybe even two more screens, but we'll just see what happens. We'll click submit right now. Okay, we're waiting for it to load. Like I said, I think there is going to be a screen after this, so I'm not too worried about it yet, at least not too anxious about the application quite this moment. Like I thought, after I click submit, there is going to be another pop-up screen. Because my business is a partnership, meaning I own half of it and my wife owns half of it, I do have to put in my information as well in here. Oh wow, I just saw it says at this point your application is conditionally approved. I didn't even notice that at first. Wow, I guess that means that, oh, we're gonna get the card. Wow, this is so exciting. Now that I've clicked continue, I think this is the next step, maybe even the final step. Man, it says pending review, but it is interesting because it's asking me if I want to add employee cards. I'm not going to worry about this right now. Maybe if I click into the next screen, then maybe it's going to say that I'm approved, but I'm not really sure. So let's click maybe later and then just see what happens. Nice. Okay, so I clicked maybe later. I don't want any employee cards and it does say approved. Wow, okay, so there was a roller coaster of emotions right there, but it does look like we are approved. And wow, I do have a new card, so thank you so much for watching this application video. If you want to check out any of my other Watch Me Apply videos, I'll have a playlist right here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.